these little cubby holes in here. There's 4 of those.
Inside this thing.
Yeah, those we call them phone booths. And those are, so if you need a private phone call, you just get up and go.
Okay.
The idea is that as we're working on things, whether that's finance, medicine, whatever the case may be, people can at least be engaged in the conversation and contribute, help out, get quick huddles together, and really work in a space that's very collaborative. So I'll just start with my story on my role as I got into the veterinary space 18 years ago. I was a business person, trying to get ahead, and honestly looking at what my next career path was, and really kind of centered on that. And so I did a lot of different things to get in that space. Started a couple businesses with some folks, and really got into some great mentorship, excited. And I was really kind of centered around, all right, what was it going to be for me to start my career? And so when I came I got in contact with Dr. Scott Campbell, who at that time had been a few years into creating a company called VetSmart, now Banfield. I remember getting a phone call from him and his team saying, hey, we need some help out of Minnesota. And we're looking for someone with a business background, not necessarily a veterinary background, to help us really kind of think about whether or not can we be efficient, can we get, the hospitals weren't performing quite well, they weren't making any money, they were having difficulty finding veterinarians, etc. So he wanted kind of an outside view in Minnesota to bring someone in to maybe help shift some things. And I remember going, God, you know what? Why is a veterinarian going to listen to me? I love the model. It sounds great. I still put it and compartmentalize it still in that same space of it's just another business. And I remember saying, oh, it's just another business, whatever. And so my intention was to, like I did in all the other business I was in, I was like, all right, I'll go do this. Didn't think it was going to be that long career for me. A couple years, do this and go do something else. And so I got a set of scrubs and decided to go into Richfield, Minnesota, to work with Dr. Tammy Andrews, to kind of get to know what a veterinary practice is like. And it was the first day. I was working there all day long, and it got to be 5 o'clock for me, being on my feet all day. Used to sometimes being a desk jockey or being in the car. I was getting tired. We were talking, it was a Friday night, the team was talking about what are they going to do that Friday night. And I was kind of in that same space, checking on my watch, ready to get out. And we're about ready to check out, and all of a sudden in walks a family, I still can picture them, with a golden retriever, or with a German Shepherd. And that German Shepherd was hit by a car. He was there with his 2 daughters. The daughters were crying. He was upset but trying to hold it together. And he hands me the dog. I'm in scrubs. He just assumes I'm the veterinarian. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You look like
right? And I'm like, and I just kind of, like, I froze. I was like, and I started to walk back, and out walks Tammy Andrews, or Dr. Andrews. And she was just, I still remember, she just went into this mode that I've never seen before. We were just a few minutes ago talking about what are we going to do on a Friday night, and let's get out of here, whatever, let's wrap things up. And our technicians did the same thing, and they took this German Shepherd, we went in the back, I'm just observing, and the family's upset, they've got an exam room 4, they're calming them down, they're taking care of the pet, and all of a sudden, it's 4 hours later. The pet's stabilized, the family's calm, they're laughing, the pet actually goes home, and off we go. And I just was like, boy, that was the fastest 4 hours of my life. And I'm thinking, hey, we're high-fiving each other, which is great, because that was a great experience, but I didn't really recognize what the true impact was. And I'm walking out to the car, it's Minnesota, it's cold, it's dark, the middle of winter. I'm at my car, and I look over, and I'm ready to go, and I see Dr. Andrews standing in our car, but just standing there. And I was like, I thought maybe the locks were frozen. That's what you do in Minnesota, I guess. And so I walked over to see if I can help her. And I said, Dr. Andrews, is everything okay? And you could see her kind of get, straighten herself up. She was a little disheveled. I said, are you okay? And she turns around and she's crying. I didn't see any of that at the hospital. I mean, she was calm, collected, cool, focused. And I said, is everything okay? And she's like, I just looked at my watch. It's 10 o'clock. I have a 3-month baby at home. I haven't put her to bed for the last 3 days. I'm not going to be able to kiss her to goodnight tonight, and I got to be here tomorrow at 8. And it was at that moment I realized, it wasn't even in my head. Like I realized right there in that moment, like, oh my God, I'm going to help her, right? I'll never be a veterinarian. I'll never be able to be that smart, that bright, but I know what I can do is I can help her. I can help her with efficiencies. I can help her with communication. I can help her get home on time. Because what's happening in the veterinary industry, and which I realized that even more later, is that she made a decision at 5 years old to become a veterinarian. Most veterinarians do. Now she has a 5-year-old daughter. and that daughter is saying, Mom, I want to be a veterinarian, and what they are saying to her is, no, don't do it. And why I left, right, and left the one great organization I was in to come here is because I wanted to say, not on our watch. I surrounded ourselves with people with 220 years of experience in the veterinary space who care about the space. And we're all in the same space as not on our watch. We have an obligation to make a shift here, to help her tell her daughter that this is a great place to be, that passion and that commitment you can do for people and pets is unbelievable. And that if I can surround myself to give her that opportunity to just be a great veterinarian and be a great communicator and get all that stuff that of managing and running a business that can drag you away from doing just that, we're going to go do that. I think that's where we get excited every day waking up, because those stories, we see it. And we have an opportunity to actually make something pretty significant and pretty special. And I'm surrounded with people that want to do that. So it's kind of where we are from a WellHaven standpoint. I think the piece, and I shared before and I share with my team, is that it's a small group of people. And trust is everything in a professional relationship. I can go out and tell a veterinarian pre-sale, or as I'm trying to interview them, like all the things I can do for them. But here's the deal. If 3 months later, a year later, if myself or any of my team breaks that trust or that promise, my brand is done, right? They'll tell everyone else that these guys don't know what they're talking about. They're just only, we can't do that, right? So I stay focused every day. My people ask me, what do I do every day? And I say, I try to keep myself from our organization going 6 degrees off center. I stay focused because our opportunity to do really, really great, for people to really be excited to be about part of WellHaven, which will only, if I get a happy vet, we'll have happy pets, right? That if I can keep focused and centered on there, we will have a successful business. It's not about how many hospitals we have or how much revenue we have. Sure, that plays a role. I'm not going to disregard that, but it's really about if we can really be proud of what we're doing and building, and we have people being the biggest advocates for WellHaven in our hospitals and our clients in those hospitals, we've won, and we've had great success. And so it's kind of the center around WellHaven.
Great.